When Grandma secretly fed my baby Custard against our rules, it sparked a family drama. Am I the a-hole for cutting her off? My wife and I, both in our 30s, have a baby boy. Last year, we flew across the country with him to attend a family reunion and visit my parents. Everything was going smoothly until my wife caught my mom, who's 68, trying to feed our 6-month-old son Custard with a spoon. This went against 2 clear rules we'd set. No sugar before his first birthday and no spoon feeding as we're doing baby-led weaning. My wife and mom had discussed these feeding boundaries at length for weeks, especially since our son had just started solids. Since our son's birth, my mom has increasingly ignored our boundaries. The first issue was her demanding photos at 9 a.m., even though we'd asked for no photo requests before 10 a.m. Her reasoning? Rules don't apply to Grandma. When my wife caught her with the Custard, she was upset, immediately took our son, and left the room without a word. I stayed behind and asked my mom why she didn't check with us first. Her response? Because I knew you'd say no. I was furious. This showed she knowingly disregarded our parenting decisions. Later, she tried to brush it off as sarcasm. My mom's sister, who saw the incident, supported my wife's reaction. The next day, we sat my parents down to talk. My mom initially apologized but quickly backtracked, changing details like claiming it was a fork, not a spoon, or that our son just reached for the Custard. Things got heated. My dad said we were being too harsh, and later my mom claimed my wife screamed at her. Neither of us recall any screaming, but we're not here to gaslight her. We ended the trip early and scaled back communication. My wife, who'd been sending daily photos and videos, stopped entirely. I now send occasional photos. We tried to work things out. My wife suggested an exercise where my parents would answer questions about their expectations as grandparents, and we'd discuss them together. We agreed they could attend our son's first birthday if we completed this exercise, and they were on board. After multiple reschedules due to my wife's postpartum struggles, we finally set a last-minute time for the discussion. But my mom refused to get dressed for the video call, saying I'd called every shot so far and that she'd just listen off camera. My wife felt disrespected and revoked their birthday invitation. My mom later made a veiled threat and gave a different excuse, but the damage was done and we pulled back further. After some reflection and therapy, we told my parents they need to seek therapy before we resume visits. Their response brought up the screaming again and expressed doubt about whether this will work out, but they still asked for photos every once in a while. Since then, I've kept casual conversation open, but deflected requests for photos or visits until they start therapy. So here's the question. Am I the a-hole for holding this boundary until my parents get therapy? Is my wife the a-hole for allegedly yelling or for stopping the daily photos? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Who's the a-hole here?